Right, I am going to clean my stovetop, my gas hobs, but what I'm going to do first, but what I'm going to do first is fill the sink with soapy water so that it is ready to go. And yeah, join me as I clean my stovetop. My name is Kylie, for those of you that don't know me already. And I'm at a stage in life where I'm enjoying just taking you along the journey and taking life at a slower pace. Even though the world is getting crazier around us, sometimes it is good to stop and just take a breath before we get into everything else. And sometimes taking a breath means putting some things in order. And I do like to do that. And even when I was working every hour of daylight sometimes, I would try and make sure that my home was kept in a calm state so that it was pleasant to be in and work with. So yeah, please join me as I clean my gas hob. It's not very riveting, but it is something that everyone thinks of differently. I'll show you the struggles I have, because there are bits of it that I still can't clean. Firstly, I'm going to fill this with hot soapy water. This looks fancy, but honestly I refill it with a very cheap, I don't know, this is about $3 a bottle from Woolworths dishwashing liquid. But what I love about it is the citrus scent it has. It's strong and it lathers up fine. Like that was only 3 squirts and it's still soapy. I can put more in if you like. At $3 it's really not a massive deal, and it just seems to leave things smelling very, very lovely. So come with me, I'm going to pull some bits off, pull some things off, then I'm going to clean. I need to move things around on my bench to fit you here. There we go. So take these off and put them over. Take these. These come off as well, and I'm putting them straight in the sink. Oh, I missed one. And these come off. These don't tend to get dirty. I would try avoiding cleaning these all the time because they actually end up black. So have a look at them. If they're too dirty, yes, give them a scrub. But see, I don't clean these very often at all, and they're fine. So it's only if you've got a big mess you need to worry about them. But see, it's got that grey, dark grey look to it, but that is just from time, T-I-M-E time. This is the one that does get dirty, however, so I am going to clean it. And that's because it's the big frying one, and just the way it's shaped, things get in here because it just has a little cap here and then the circle. So I will be doing that. And if you look at this, this is how it actually looks. I'll zoom you in. Oh, hang on, I forgot. These also come off. And they go in my sink. Can you see this? I'm just trying to see if you can. That's just a close up of the oven so you can see the before. I actually can't see what you're seeing, but I hope you can appreciate that it is dirty. So while all that's soaking, let's clean this, shall we? I'm just going to get a cloth with soap on it and give it a wipe around to see what's going to come off and what isn't. And when I'm here, I often do end up going along the back wall here and any bits I see just while I'm here. And even my range hood, if I see any bits, I tend to do it because that's how my brain is wired. So I'm just going around all of these, and if you notice, it actually comes off quite easily onto the cloth. See? We're using a white cloth, so it should be quite easy for you to see all the bits that come off. This is just one of my burners, obviously. There's a bit still there, that's fine. So that's just from the one burner. And the reason I want to show you this is because I do have a tip that will help you to keep these easy clean, because that's what we all want, isn't it? Easy clean surfaces. Let me know if you want more cleaning videos or more cleaning tips and tricks, and I will share them more with you. You can look in here, but golly gosh, those will be very hard to clean. You could use a toothbrush, but I wouldn't wet in there. I would just scrape in there, because it's here for a reason and it is covered for a reason. So I wouldn't tend to go sticking water in there. I would just use a dry toothbrush and scoop out what you can if it gets bad in there. This is my problem child. I'll show you what I do with that shortly. These do get stuck in and pop out. Just got to be very, very careful with them. Otherwise they're a pain to pull back up. But yes, they get dirty because it's normally dirty hands that are touching them. How often do I do this? Probably to this extent, only once every month or two. But the actual cleaning of the just the surface, the stainless steel part of it, I probably do that weekly, fortnightly, monthly, depending on how much I'm actually using my hobs. In the summer I use them a lot less because we use the outdoor barbecue more, and we tend to just do meat and salad. So that cloth is fairly dirty, so I'm just going to rinse it off, and I'm going to get a couple of things that are going to help me with this. I was looking for a toothbrush, but I must have used my last toothbrush to death, and I'm not talking about a toothbrush someone's wanting to use right now. I'm talking about an old one, but I'm pretty sure I'd used it till it was quite frayed. So, and we use electric toothbrushes now, so I might just have to get one for cleaning. But I have got this. Can you see this? It's one of those very fine, we use it for the coffee machine. It's a very fine brush, and I'm going to see how I go with this. And I've got the pink stuff, which I'm going to use to get rid of, because there's brown, if you can see it, not sure, brown around here that needs to be cleaned off. And this has had a rinse, so I'll start with that. See, gets it off quite well. Doesn't that look fantastic? And any other bits that I saw in my travels that I couldn't move. And as you can see, I haven't gone back into the bottle. I'm just using what's already on here. Look at that. It's done a great job. So as you can see, this is quite annoying. And we do need to clean this because it sometimes ends up with liquid in it. So I think this is actually created quite differently to the other ones. So I'm going to put some pink stuff on it, on the top here where it's looking a bit on the nasty side. And I'm going to try this. Look, I don't know if it's going to work, but I'll give it a go. I'm just going to put a bit of moisture on this. As you can see, it's lifting off quite a bit, Now, get a clean part of the cloth so we can have a look at how clean it's become. There you go. So it definitely works. It's just, if you're after perfection, maybe don't have gas, because yeah, that's not going to ever come back to the way it was, unless one of you can give me a tip or trick that you've used successfully on this kind of an aluminium finish. I'm just going through around these little grooves, make sure there's no extra food stuck in there. Oh, this little brush is good for that, that's for sure. And I'm just going to run it in here to see if there's any bits that can come out. And it's not, definitely not going to get, there's bits you can't even see, so I'm not going to fuss about that. Let's put the cloth in and wipe, pretty much. Cloth in. Can't even get the cloth into a lot of it, seriously. Right, so just wiping off any of that pink stuff that's left on the surface. And now to the next stage, which is the coating that I give it to prevent things sticking. So this is the, I call this the fun part, the cool bit, because I also love how it looks when it's done. So all you need is some form of baby oil. I use baby oil because if I use normal oil, it just doesn't dissipate quite the same. Just one piece of handy towel, we don't need a million. I tend to do like a cross on here, and I haven't put oil over here, but there's going to be enough oil on here to do it. So this is the oil. Look at that shine. I love using this. I also use it on my range hood. Straighten you up and put these back on. You've got to hold your tongue right when you do it. And the only one I've kept is this one. There we go. So, the water ran out on me, typical. So I'm just having a good look at them and seeing what needs to be clean, like this has got dirt there. And sometimes it's actually very hard to get it off because it's aluminium. That's me just scrubbing with a Scrub Daddy. I'll try a bit of pink stuff. Put it on my finger and then put it on here and then scrub. This is where you can't see my expression. I mean, it's better, but if you have a look, it kind of eats into the aluminium. Yeah, so it can be quite frustrating cleaning these, which is why if I don't have to, I'm quite pleasantly surprised. But if nothing else, I'm getting rid of any extra food, I guess, that's sitting on it, or I'll try the hard dish brush, shall I? But yes, wetting it just eats into it. It doesn't leave it looking amazing. It just seems to be how it is. So I guess at least it's not bits of food on here. And yeah, it's pretty much as good as it gets, but at least I know I've cleaned it. Whether it's perfect or not is obviously irrelevant. Now these normally just need a bit of a clean. They don't get super dirty, but I tend to just make sure my cloth is able to give them a good wipe over. Have a look at them. Is that enough? Will that do? Yes, it will. Awesome. And the next is the cast iron. Give these a bit of a scrub. They're very rough on the back. I can see a few spots that I'd like to try and attack. I just put pink stuff on my finger, squeeze excess water off this and scrub. Do it again on this piece. If that doesn't get it off, I don't tend to pursue it too hard. These ones are just steel, I think, so they tend to handle the scrub in a bit more of a, I don't know, they just seem to take to it a bit better. I should have shown you before, shouldn't I? But they got that clean. I'll show you on this one. Can you see the, it's got a bit of dirty, so I'm actually putting some pink stuff on it, and I make sure this has got excess water out of it, and scrub. Then rinse it with the water. Very satisfying. See that? Nice. Nice. So that's done. Now these are yet again the cast iron rough. I just get them clean. I can't get them back to pristine condition. Again, something I'd like to learn, figure out without having to scrub for hours, but I just do what I can. I've got pink stuff still on here, and I'm just giving them a good old scrub so it gets rid of any excess food, I guess. I mean, it's still working, look at that. Let's do that and then give it a rinse off. If you want it to be perfect, don't use it. Leave that to dry. I also find I can get a bit fussy, and if I get too fussy, I end up getting quite stressed. and that's no good for anybody, especially my husband. Right, let's give these a quick dry with the cloth as well. You can put oil on these ones to make them easier to clean as well, which I think I will do, but I'll wait till they're in place. Right, I'll take you back over to put things together. Right, here we go. Still here. Hello oven. So we'll put these handles back on, knobs. Right, that part's done. Put the large aluminium ring on. This one is a hold your tongue in the right position one. Yes! These are the rings. Flame deflectors, probably more than anything. I'm just going to give them a wee dry again. Because I am going to put a little bit of oil on them. There's still a bit of oil on this cloth here, so I'm going to use it. And even though it doesn't deserve it, I do it on the cast iron too. It doesn't make a huge difference. It does a little bit of a difference. But look at that. Don't they look lovely and shiny? And do you think that's what I should do to these? I don't know. Right, I'm going to zoom you in for a close-up so you can see it's clean. Very satisfying. Clean and shiny. Awesome. If you want more videos like this, let me know, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you can. That'd be fantastic. But yeah, have a great rest of your day, whatever you're doing.